You mentioned one of the first obstacles, 11 new guys.
Yes.
Just for each guy to know who to shake hands and say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so." That's tough in itself, let alone you getting their confidence as a new coach.
So the first thing we wanted to do is not make it about basketball. We wanted to break the barriers down from person to person, team to team, and teammate to teammate. And we did that by having a sports psychologist come in and speak to our guys and do some
as a team or one-on-one?
As a team. We did a lot of team building with Dr. Joe Carr, who is a world-renowned sports psychologist. He does professional, he does corporate, but I had the opportunity to work with Joe Carr as a student athlete when I was in undergrad at Cal, and then he also did our teams at Florida State. And I saw the impact that he had on the individuals and the impact he had on my life as a player.
What's the first thing he'll go after in a team setting like that?
The first thing he kind of went after is defining what playing hard is and trying to get an identity. And you have no team without an identity. And I think that was the biggest thing. We didn't talk about at all what you guys talk about of when I got the job, because guess what? No opponent is going to feel sympathy for us. So we didn't talk about that. We just made it about how to bulletproof sort of our circle and how we need each other and the unselfishness and what's a level 5 and what the core values of our team is. And those are the things that we kind of went over, but individually knowing each other's story, the person. Who is Coach Gates without basketball? Who is Craig Baudouin without basketball? Who is Torrey Patton? Who is Al Eichelberger without the basketball? That's what we kind of broke down, and that is what allows us to play for each other.
What are your core values? You know, a guy that has waited for his chance to have his own program has to know what those values are.
I've built it out and I've tweaked it each year. So we want to win championships, and we have 3 C's. 3 C's, we want to win championships in the classroom, in our community, and on the basketball court. But also, there's this acronym of FLAT DUET. Friendship, love, accountability, trust. And duet, spell duet out, you have discipline. Can you guys guess the other 3?
It's going to be education.
No.
No?
No.
Unity's
unselfishness.
Yeah.
Yep, you're close. Yeah. And then the E, enthusiasm.
Okay.
And obviously the T.
Team.
All right, so
teamwork.
Well, togetherness, yeah.
Togetherness, teamwork. Yeah.
You've done it already in the classroom. Give those numbers out.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Well, what I am proud about, and I can say this, is because it's a part of me and who I am. I graduated from Cal Berkeley. Education was very important to me. My parents instilled it, and obviously it carried throughout. I was able to graduate from college in 3 years at Berkeley, but our team GPA is a 3.05, and we had 6 members on the dean's list, and that is an unbelievable accomplishment because we hadn't had that in the last, I would say 10 years. And to have a team in its first semester with guys that were in junior college being recruited, they usually, and people on the outside usually look at it as kids with baggage, but these kids bought in who were junior college transfers, who were coming from every walks of life to make and grow together, and they have done that with that GPA.
See, I would have never graduated in 3 years. I wanted to stay in school 1 more year.
Come on now.
Just to hang out.
7th year senior?
7th year senior at The Ohio State University.
Come on now.
You talk about identities. Do you have an identity for your basketball team year by year, or is it the same, or does it depend on who's on the roster?
It's defined by the individuals, and they are responsible. Our student athletes are responsible for upholding it. They're responsible for bringing it together. They're responsible for identifying it, and when it's a young person's idea and not us adults, they usually hold on to it and cherish it a little bit more, and that's how I've been taught. And everybody runs their program different, but that's why they love Cleveland State so much. Our guys are representing Cleveland State University, not just men's basketball, but university. They're speaking for the other students that's at the university and obviously alumni.
And Dave, what we haven't touched on is how Cleveland State has changed the atmosphere, the dorms, the apartments, the
Beautiful
living.
campus.
It is a beautiful campus.
Beautiful.
Didn't used to be.
what people don't realize how nice that student center is, and
Unbelievable.
Yeah, there are some really. I mean, I used to go over there and eat all the time. The meal plans over there, unbelievable.
Do you take somebody's meal plan and eat off it?
I worked there for a while.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
See, he knows what the evolution of it was.
When you see things like the student center and all that just something clicks and say that's one more thing I get to sell to parents or to players or anybody.
It's definitely a part of our official visit and unofficial visit tours. Just being able to walk a kid from President Sand's office to the even Elements, the food restaurant there on campus, and then over to the student center, and to see how this campus is connected through the interlink. Now, everyone says I'm spoiled because of the weather, but there is an unbelievable system that takes place that'll get you class to class without even walking outside.
Right. When you think about it, when you get your coaches together, your players together, you have to be one voice.
Yes.
I assume for coaches to players and so on. So how do you guys get together? You as a coaching staff get together and say, this is the message we want, this is the one we don't want, this is what we do want. How do you do that? How do you decide what that is?
Well, as soon as we hired and assembled a staff, we had a 4-day retreat. And in our retreat, on the first day, we met at our AD's house, and he and his wife and kids got it all together for us, a big round table, and we just sat there as if we were studying for finals to organize this season. We did the second day at the Cavs facility, and obviously Lynn Komorowski, he's on the board of directors at Cleveland State. They were able to connect that. Also, Rob Summers, his college head coach is John Beeline, but we were able to use a sort of meeting room at the Cavs facility, and that was from morning to evening, where we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we just set up every day that way. We also met on campus the same way, and being able to spar and go through whatever you have ever learned in life with basketball with each individual, from Rob Summers, Drew Joyce, to Coach Nutt, who has been a head coach for 20 years, to Chase Goldstein, who's been a part of Florida Gulf Coast University's success when they went to the Sweet 16 as a student and a manager, to Ryan Charball, who's been, at Bradley University and that trip to the NCAA tournament. But we threw everything on the table to talk about and left nothing. We went from how we were going to sit on the bench to how we were going to walk out the locker room.
Tell us a little bit about the connections that you have locally, Drew Joyce, Ohio. How important those are to you, because you hadn't been, you hadn't been here in this region and in this area for very long.
Well, hiring a staff is very important, with recruiting. But I wanted to hire a staff that had some local connections, but also in-state connections. And I looked at several unbelievable candidates, but Rob Summers stood out because he has a unique set of skills that was very important to building what we're building. He was a head coach at Urbana College. He was a center in college, so he's a 7-footer who could also specialize in post development, and that was crucial for recruiting the type of kids we wanted to recruit in the post, 7-foot kids. That was very important, and he has recruiting ties because he was from and grew up in Columbus, Ohio, with his AAU program in high school. And then I wanted another guy, and we were so lucky to get Coach Joyce because at that time he was still playing overseas, but his recruiting basis is what it is. He's been in basketball throughout his life. He grew up helping his dad run tournaments. He grew up in the home of a coach, and a unique personality in itself, but he's a great teacher, great individual skill instructor, and he played a point guard position, which is very crucial in your development of a team.
Think about that. We're gonna practice today over where LeBron James used to practice. And by the way, that guy there,
He's his teammate.
that point guard, that's Drew Joyce over there. Drew Joyce the third.
Well, he's seen basketball at a very high level at a very young age, and played for a great coach at Akron, Keith Dan Bratt. And by the way, Keith Dan Bratt and my college coach our best friends, Ben Braun, who Keith Danbrat worked with at Eastern Michigan.
Right.